Okay, welcome to lesson 133 of algebraic concepts, or lesson 2133 overall. Divide polynomials using long division. Our favorite, long division. So here's our objective, some vocabulary, and the concept of long division. So now we all know how long division works when we have a number like 14 going into, 12, 131. We know how it works. You get some numbers, say, 14. Let me change this number from 12 to, Let's change this number to 15 just to make it easier. I'm sorry. So, you put your 1 here, your 14 down, you bring down, put a 0 there, you put a number there like, 7, 8. 14, 28, 4 is 56. 56 doubled up is 112. So let's try 8. 12, 3. Oh, look at that. 11. And then it goes in 0. And then you have a remainder of 11. So what the actual answer will be is 1080 with 11 over 14. So now we can do the same thing with polynomials. You'll get some zeros in there, but the only thing is you will have a variable as one of your dividends. So take your time with this one. This is going to be kind of weird. So there will be remainders. Sometimes the remainders look weird. Sometimes they work out nicely, but let's go through it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is do x squared plus 2x minus 9. That is our dividend. We put it outside the house. We put x plus 3 outside the house. So basically what you want to do here is try to make these terms go away. So watch how this works. We know that x squared divided by x will leave an x. So x times x means x squared. So x times 3 makes 3x, and then that's a plus. X times x is x squared. And now we subtract. X squared minus x is 0. 2x minus 3x is negative 1x. We bring down your minus 9. So now, how do we get around this negative 1x? So let's put a minus 1. And let's see if we can make that work. So negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. Negative 1 times x is negative x, 1x. But remember, we're subtracting. So be careful with subtraction. Negative 1x minus a negative 1. Two negatives uninterrupted make a positive. So you know what? Let me rewrite this so that you don't get confused. I got negative 1x minus 9 over 1x plus 3. And I just changed the negative out here to a positive, and then I changed the sign inside. So you get 0 minus 6. Because this 6 is a remainder, x squared plus 2x minus 9 divided by x plus 3 equals x minus 1 with a remainder of 6 over x plus 3. This is kind of weird. I know you're not used to seeing things like this. Oh wait, that was a negative 6. I'm sorry. That is how we long divide. You're really going to have to take the time and practice this one. And remember all of your rules for long division. So that is how that works out. Okay, y cubed minus 15. Okay, so how do we do something like this? So we get y cubed, 0y squared, we have 0y terms, and we have a minus 15. And you have to insert all of those terms in because you're dividing by a y minus 5 term. And so what do we need to put here? We need to put a y squared here. Y squared times negative 5 is negative 5y squared. And then y squared times y is y cubed. So y cubed minus y is 0. 0 minus a negative becomes plus 5y squared. And I know it seems like I'm making up things, but they really occur. So now we go to the next one. We want to get rid of 5y squared. So we put plus 5y. 5y times negative 5 is negative 25y. We're going to put that in parentheses because we're going to be subtracting. And then 5y times y is 5y squared. And we're going to be subtracting that. Okay, 5y squared minus 5y squared is 0. I should have put the zeros there. I'm sorry for doing that to you. And then 0 minus minus, two negatives make a positive. So you got plus 25y and you got negative 15. And so what do we have to do? We have to get rid of the 25y. So we're not worrying about the numbers. We have to get rid of the terms with the variable in them, and that's why I'm taking 25. And it seems counterintuitive, but that is what you have to do. So 25 times 5 is 125, negative 125. 25 times y is 25y. We're subtracting that one out. Okay, so let's deal with the variable terms. 25 minus 25 is 0. 15 minus a negative 125 leaves 110. Because the two negatives become positive, so that really becomes negative 15 plus 125. So y cubed minus 15 divided by y minus 5 is y squared plus 5y plus 25 plus 110 over y minus 5, which was left over. And that is our answer, believe it or not. And this is how we divide polynomials. So let's look at our next example, which is out of order. So the first thing we're going to do is put it in order. 12y squared plus 16y plus 5 divided by 6y plus 5. Put our things in order alphabetically first and in highest degree. Okay, so we have to make the y's go away. So we're going to put 2y here. 2y times 5 is 10y. 2 times 6, 2y times 6y is 12y squared. Subtract 12y squared minus 12y squared is 0. 16y minus 10y is 6y plus 5. Let me make that neater. I'm sorry for the mess. 6y. Okay, so look at this. It actually works out. 5 times 1 is 5, and then 6y, and we subtract that. And that gives us a 0. So 12y squared plus 16y plus 5 divided by 5 plus 6y plus 5, it leaves us with 2y plus 1. And we can multiply this binomial and this binomial and get the other binomial. If you understand how division and multiplication work and their opposites. Okay, so those were our 3 examples of long division. You're going to need a lot of practice with this, so get yourself a good math book and practice. Again, we're going to practice problems, and I will see you at the end of the video for a review. Okay, so let's look at our first problem here. And if you had some trouble with it, that's no problem. So the first thing we have to do is write our trinomial in standard form. So I'm going to rewrite it as 3a squared minus 22a plus 20. I'm going to divide it by a minus 6. Okay, so this a and this a, we want to get to cancel out. So what can we multiply this a by to get 3a squared? So we had to multiply by 3a. And so watch, 3a times negative 6 gives us negative 18a. 3a times a gives us 3a squared. Okay, because this is division, we're subtracting. So 3a squared minus 3a squared is 0. And then negative 22 minus a negative, so let me do it on the side. Negative 22a minus a negative 18a. And you know that two negatives become positive. And that gives us negative 4a. Okay. So now, again, we're looking at the first term out here. So this a has to be negative. And so that means we have to multiply it by negative 4. So negative 4 times negative 6 becomes positive. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I forgot to bring down the 20. And then negative 4 times a becomes negative 4a. But because this is division or subtracting, which means all our signs change, And so negative 4a minus negative 4a. Negative 4a minus a negative 4a. Well, negative 4a plus 4a equals 0. And then 20 minus a positive 24 is 20 minus 24, which is negative 4. And then negative 4. So there's no more a's in it, so we're done. We had to stop here. So this equals 3a minus 4 minus 4 over a minus 6. And that is the answer to our division problem. Okay, t squared minus 81. If you look, 81 is a square. T squared is a square. So watch this. You don't always have to do your division. So if I know that t squared breaks down to t and 81, if I take the square root of t squared, I get t. If I take the square root of 81, I get 9. So I get t plus 9 and then t minus 9. And then I divide by t minus 9. I can see that my t minus 9s cancel out, and I'm left with t plus 9. But let's go ahead and do the long division since this is a long division lesson. So let's take our t squared minus 81 divided by t minus 9. Now, what you need is a 0t term in here. So I have to erase this, and I need a plus 0t minus 81. Why do I need that? Let's watch. So all I got to do is multiply here by t minus 9t. T times t is t squared. And we have to make our leading things go away. So t squared minus t squared is 0. 0 minus negative 9 is positive 9. So we get 9t minus 81. And then how do I make that? I make that plus 9. 9 times 9 is negative 81. 9 times t is 9t. And you're saying, oh, I had the same terms, and if I add them, I'm going to get different things. But this is division, and we have to subtract. So this is 9t minus 9t, which is 0, and then 81 minus a negative 81, which means negative 81 plus 81, which is 0. So as you can see, our answer is 0, and we're left with t plus 9. So I did it two ways for you. So sometimes you don't have to do long division if you can recognize difference of squares or perfect square trinomials, or you can factor the trinomial some type of way. Okay, so now let's look at this problem. Let's write it in standard form first. Now, from the previous lesson, we talked about grouping, factor by grouping, or there were 2 lessons ago. So let's see if we can pull out a group and find anything in common. So n squared leads to n minus 1 minus 5n minus 3. Okay, so we couldn't do anything there. Well, I couldn't factor by grouping, so let's try it the other way. Let me erase all of this. I thought I could simplify it into grouping, but it looks like it's not going to work for me. So let's go ahead on and just go ahead and divide it regularly. So let's take n cubed minus n squared minus 5n minus 3 and do n minus 3. Okay, so I need an n squared here. N squared times negative 3 is negative 3n squared. Make sure you put it in parentheses. N squared times n is n cubed. We're subtracting n minus n cubed. N cubed minus n cubed is 0. Negative n plus 3n. That's a 1 here. We'll leave 2n squared minus 5n. Okay, so what do I need now? I need a plus 2n to make the leading term go away. 2n times negative 3 is negative 6n in parentheses to keep our sign straight. 2n times n is 2n squared. Subtracting. 2n squared minus 2n squared is 0. Negative 5 plus 6n is 11n minus 3. Is that right? Oh, it's negative 5 plus 6. Oh, I messed that up. Is not 11, is 1. Negative, all right, so let me write that. Negative 5n minus a negative 6n becomes negative 5n plus 6n, which is 1n. So that's 1n minus 3. And then we can see we just add 1, n minus 3, in parentheses, keep your sign straight. 1n minus n is 0. Negative 3 minus is negative 3 minus a negative 3. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. Look at that. It works out to 0. And there we go. So this was n squared plus 2n plus 1. That is a lot of work. So you may not see a lot of this in the Algebra 1 course. You may see it in the Algebra 1 course. But here it is. That's how you do long division with polynomials. And I think we are done with polynomials and factoring. And we're going to move into specifically quadratic equations, some trinomials, some binomials. And that will be the next series of videos coming up. So thank you for watching the video. Please make sure to do the practice problems and do more practice. Don't just do these 3 practice problems. Make sure you have an algebra book and you're working through and you're looking at your answers, the answers in the book, to make sure they match. And if you make any mistakes, please go back and check through your work. And, you know, sometimes you're going to have to watch part of this video, solve a problem. If you got it right, move to the next one, and blah, blah, blah. So you don't have to watch the video all the way through. Watch these videos in pieces.